welcome back to Scholar Point. So today we're going to be studying about the resource and development chapter, the first chapter of geography, resources and development, right? So we're going to start session by session, every single session we're going to cover here, and today we will start about what is a resource and what is the interactive relationship of nature, human beings, institutions that they create, and the natural resources itself, right? So let's move to the next slide, that is resources. Right? So what is a resource now? What is a resource? Resource is something it is available in our environment. It is available in our environment and which is satisfying our needs, which has some utility, and it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. And culturally acceptable is called a resource. So yeah. Now these resources can vary. There are so many resources that can vary from place to place, from region to region, and from countries to countries, right? So yeah, let's go to the next slide of ours. Let's go to the next slide. That is interdependent relationship between nature, technology, and institutions. Can you see this image, everybody? Okay, here is technology. This is technology, and this is the institutions. So the human beings, they interact with the nature. Through the technology. They interact with the nature through the technology, and they create their institutions. Institution in the sense it can be anything, maybe an office, maybe an educational system, or anything, right? So this is the interdependent relationship between nature, technology, and institutions. Now let's go to the next slide. Right, so that is classification of resources, right? We're going to see the classification of resources. So now these resources can be classified in many ways according to many criteria, right? Now let's see the classification of resources. So these resources can be classified into two types on the basis of like how they're created. Okay, one is the natural resource and the other one is the human resource. Natural resources can be of two types, that is renewable resource and non-renewable resource. First of all, what is a natural resource? This natural resource is something which is derived from the nature, and the human resources are something that is we ourselves. Example, we can take a person who is illiterate, a person who has acquirable amount of knowledge. That person is a resource. We cannot consider them as natural resource, but they have a separate category of human resources. That means see how important they are, see how specific, and see how special they are. I mean, how we are. They are we. We human beings are considered special, right? Yeah. Now let's jump into. Okay. let's now jump into the next one, that is what we will be doing now, and that is renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable are the resources which can be renewed again, that means which can be reproduced again. You know what I mean? So there's a continuous flow, wind, water, etc. These all are the renewable resources. And you can take biological resources, which will include natural vegetation and wildlife. Right? So these are not considered under human or anything, but they are considered under biological. They are considered under biological. Right? And then we have the non-renewable resources, which cannot be renewed again. They take millions of years to get replenished. And these are the recyclable. Some are recyclable like metals. Some are recyclable like metals, and some are non-recyclable like fossil fuels. These fossil fuels take million years to get renewed again. That's the reason why we say to use the resources judiciously and to not waste them. And yeah, so this is what we learned in today's class. And today, let's just get to a quick recap of what we have learned in today's class. First, we learned what is the resource. What is a resource? Resource is something which has a utility, which has a value, and which can satisfy our needs, and it is technologically acceptable, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable is what you call a resource. Then next we have learned the interactive relationship between nature, human beings, institutions, and technology, right? And then we have learned the classification of resources, like as you can see here, the resources, natural resources, human resources, right? And then we have the renewable, non-renewable, structures and institutions, quality. And by the way, I forgot to say, structures and institutions, these are the ones which we create to accelerate our development. Quality and quantity, as you see, automatically leads to quality and quantity. Like quality in the sense, like our education, health, right? And the quantity also increase, right? Yeah, so this is the thing that we studied, or like which we came to know in today's session. And yeah, I will end this session here. And yeah, I hope that you liked today's video, and don't forget to subscribe to Scholar Point. Thank you. Bye.